Hello everybody, my name is Ryan. This is my review of Batman, the Telltale series, Episode 1, Realm of Shadows. This was kind of highly anticipated. It was announced like 8 months ago at the Game Awards, and it kind of seemed like I had mixed reactions to it at first. When it first came out, I was thinking, I don't know what this is going to be, because it's Telltale, and they don't have like the most complex or normal combat mechanics, so that's the biggest thing I was wondering about. What is the combat like in this game? How is Batman going to fight and stuff? That's one of the things that I was thinking most about. And it's not great, but it works really well, especially for a Telltale game. So let's get into combat first, because that is, of course, just the biggest thing I was thinking about. I think that you already kind of know if you're going to want this game or not, because there's two people looking to buy this. The people who love the Telltale games and like the, kind of choose your story kind of games, like that kind of game. There are those people, and there are the people who are going on this because it's Batman and DC and everything. So there's two crowds of people here, starting off with the combat, because that's the biggest thing here. It starts off kind of slow. At the beginning, the first maybe like 10 minutes, you don't do a whole lot. Maybe 10, maybe 5. It felt like 10 minutes just to get through it. The opening is you're not really involved in anything. You're not really doing anything. It's essentially cutscenes, except you're not playing them like you normally are. And then every once in a while, it'll say like, oh, hit right, and you'll stealth across. But it won't show you, like, every once in a while, you'll be in a new place, and it'll say, do this, and you do that, and then it'll cut away, and then you'll be in another place. So it was weird because you were doing the actions, you just weren't getting from place to place, so it didn't really feel that well. And that was one of the big gripes at the beginning, was a slow start, and the combat didn't really seem great at the beginning. However, as we moved on, combat got a little faster and everything, and I did like it. I do like how the combat works in this. It is essentially a lot of quick time events like combat has been in the past, but they do put a lot more combat into it, which I think is fantastic because it is an action game. It is Batman. You kind of need to have that. But that doesn't mean they're sacrificing story or everything. And the weird thing is, in most Telltale games, there is a big thing at the beginning. There's like a huge decision to make in the first episode, just to kind of divide stories pretty early on. And without spoiling anything, there is kind of a huge decision. It's just that it's not a huge decision. It seems like a big decision, however, it's not really. And a lot of the big choices, like at the end we'll see like, oh, the 5 choices, it compares you to other people. Most of those choices are just, did you show mercy or did you break a guy's arm? Did you show mercy or did you break a guy's arm? That's basically what it is. And that was a little disappointing. However, it was really cool and I did really like to play it. First off, the characters in this are fantastic. The voice acting is a little off-throwing. Like, it puts me off a little bit just because we've heard so many different voices for these characters this year. This is the 3rd Batman portrayal we've seen this year, after Ben Affleck and then, Kevin Conroy in The Killing Joke. Now it's Troy Baker, and I think he does a fine job, but I like him better as Bruce Wayne. I think as Batman, it's like the voice was fine, but it didn't sound exactly right. But I'm sure in episode 2 it will, once you've heard this a little more. But as Bruce Wayne, I thought he was fine, and I like that. The voice cast is all around pretty good. The voice of James Gordon is a little off-putting at first. He's voiced by the guy who plays Sully in Uncharted, and I'm all up for that. It just a little threw me off a little bit at first, but before the end of it, it's fine. And I really like the Batman and Gordon relationship. There's a choice in it where you can run away or talk to Gordon, and I chose to talk to Gordon, and I like that this is a Batman who isn't just going to flee the crime scene. You get some of those interactions with Gordon, and I think that's cool, that you can kind of make those decisions and everything. And that's fine. The dialogue in this is cool. There's a lot of tension in some places. One of the earliest scenes, you're Bruce Wayne, and there's a lot of tension because you're talking to a major crime boss. You're talking to Carmine Falcone, and you're just, it's very tense because he might kill you. He might send people to try and kill you, and you're definitely not going to die, but you don't want the worst to happen. So I try to play it a little uneven, and kind of provoke him a little bit, but not goad him, not show that I'm with Falcone, but also I didn't try to basically love him. I didn't try to hate him. I didn't try to love him. I tried to make it myself seem very in the middle, and it still worked out badly, which is kind of weird. But I think that there were some kind of bigger story decisions that you made. I would like to play through this again a second time just to see how things would go if I did differently, but you can see your choices affecting just the first episode, which I think is cool, and I'm very excited to see how this plays out because they built up a lot. You know, we see just in this first episode Harvey Dent, Selena Kyle, Oswald Cobblepot, and Carmine Falcone are all in it. Falcone is the main villain. Harvey Dent looks like he's setting up to be one of the long-term villains. Penguin is another one that's setting up to be a long time, and then Selena Kyle just seems like she's going to be a supporting character here, which is cool. They give Batman a love interest in Vicky Vale, but of course you also have the kind of Batman love interest with Selena Kyle. I think that it's interesting whenever Batman has a love interest. Batman having a love interest is always very intentional. Like, you look at Batman Begins, where they sort of try to humanize Batman. We get to see a whole lot of Bruce and everything, so Rachel makes sense to have there. But in Dark Knight, once they need to have Batman go a little more head-to-head with Joker, have that be a much direct confrontation, we get a little bit more, we get a little bit less Rachel. So I think that makes sense. And also, you look at Batman v Superman, he was very isolated. He was very on his own. He only had Alfred. I thought that was fine, but this is a more... You get to see a lot of Bruce Wayne. And honestly, I kind of like some of the Bruce Wayne parts better. You know, like, there's some tension in that dialogue. There's building up future villains. There's Easter eggs here and there, which I think are cool. And it just works really well. Plus, when you're playing as Bruce Wayne, you almost feel like you're a spy, just because you know Batman is the main character. It feels to me, this game does a great job of representing it, because it's always kind of felt like it. When you're Bruce Wayne, you're Batman spying. You know, Batman can be stealthy and everything, but when he's not wearing the cloak, when he's not wearing, like, the cowl and the cape and everything, it feels like he's spying, and I think that's really cool, and it's actually very well portrayed in this. There are a few things I don't like. First off, the combat mechanic. It works fine, but you don't have to try, really. There's a lot of times I just kind of fucked up, and it just kept doing it anyway. Like, nothing bad happened, and I was like, oh, that's a little bit weird. There was, out of probably like the dozen times I fucked up and didn't get a QuickTime event, only one of them did not actually turn out well. One of them I died. The other 11 were just fine, and it went on normally. And that's because of what seems to be a finishing blow mechanic, where you have to just keep fighting until you can get your finishing blow, which will be built up in the corner here, and then you can use that and end the fight. That's kind of what it seems like. And it's not great, because it just feels like you're trying to build that. It's kind of distracting, because once in a while the combat counter will just, like, the progress bar will just show up in the corner there. So kind of a little off-throwing, because now I know I'm just fighting to raise that instead of just fighting to try and win. There are a few animation errors which bug me, but overall, I really like this. I thought it was cool, but like the combat is fine, but there are a few problems in it that are not going to be resolved anytime soon, I will say. But yeah, I see. It seemed too easy. Like, you know, a lot of the QuickTime events I failed, and it just kept going. Like, it didn't stop anything. It just didn't give me a raise in my progress bar, and I thought, it's a little discouraging to actually try, because at one point I was like, let me test it out. I put the controller down, and Batman kept fighting, even though I wasn't hitting the QuickTime events. I'm like, but then why am I trying? You know, it seemed a little too easy, and it's weird because the combat is supposed to be the hard part, like when you actually have to do things and you're not just talking. So it's a lot of story, and then a lot of combat, but the combat doesn't matter that much, so take of that what you will. I did enjoy this, though. I did buy the Season Pass, of course, so I'm going to review all the other episodes, so you can subscribe for that. Sorry this video was a little hastily made, because I'm a little pressed for time here, but next videos will be a little more flashy, cut together well, so subscribe for those. Give this video a like if you enjoyed. Comment your thoughts down below. What choices did you make? I'm curious about that. If you want me to make a video talking about my choices and why I made them, maybe, because that seems fun, you can give this video a like, and I'll see you all next time.